In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Imperial Stormtrooper for the Vintage Collection, and this is the Stormtrooper from TBC 1.0. He was number 41. So for the most part, this Stormtrooper is a kit bash, and there was a couple running changes of this one. So the one you're looking at here is the one that has the lenses that are much closer to the brow there, to where there's really no space in between. And then a little while later, Hasbro did a running change of the helmet, and then you have this version of it instead, where a little bit more space between the brow and the lenses there. And I think the helmet is borrowed from like the Han Solo and Stormtrooper disguise from the Legacy Collection, while this helmet here is borrowed from the 30th Anniversary Stormtrooper. But other than that, same exact action figure, same numbering, same everything besides that. So for the longest time, this was our definitive Stormtrooper that we had for a really long time. Even into 2016 and 17, this was still the go-to Stormtrooper for most people. And it's still a really good Stormtrooper. I'm happy to have a few in my collection. I did not get these three at the time they were released. I actually got them, I think around 2017 or 18 is when I went ahead and ordered them. Found a good deal for them on eBay, and I think I got all three of them together. I at least got two of them together, and then I think I may have gotten one at a separate time, but it was all really close together. And after TBC 1.0 ended, these Stormtroopers were actually pretty expensive on the aftermarket, so if you found a good deal for them, definitely something to jump on. So for the most part, he's reutilizing parts from the 30th Anniversary Stormtrooper besides the helmet. I think the torso here is pretty much borrowed over. The arms here I think are the same, and the waist down is borrowed from the Sand Trooper that was released a little bit earlier, which I think he was like VC 15 or something like that. It's the clean Sand Trooper. And then he does have the holster. So because he is borrowing parts from the 30th Anniversary Stormtrooper, he does have the removable helmet, the clone head underneath. Hasbro did upgrade the paint apps a little bit, I think. Looks pretty good. Paint's a lot more crisp. In fact, I'll just bring out my 30th Anniversary figure right here. Mine's a little bit worn on the nose, but you can tell the difference in the skin tone and just the overall paint apps. Scar is painted over on this one, while here it's more prevalent. I think it's the same for all these ones as well. Yeah. No scarring for these guys. Scars are still there because they're part of the sculpt, but they're just painted over in a flesh color instead. Pretty much same Stormtrooper tooling that we've looked at in the last few videos. Super articulated with the hinge tips, and pretty much hinged everywhere. ankle on that one's a little tight. Does work a little better on that one. In terms of accessories, besides the helmet, which does fit on his head pretty securely. A lot of Stormtroopers in this era had very wobbly helmets. Not too bad for this guy. He does have the E11, which is the old style E11. In fact, it's kind of tight in his holster there, so I'm not going to take that out, but in case you really want to see it, there's just one of the older style ones here. Same thing. And Hasbro was nice enough to include one of the Stormtrooper rifles here. I forget what the specific name of it is. I think this is the same rifle that comes with like the Shadow Trooper and a lot of the more recent TVC Stormtroopers, I think. It's a very nice accessory to have. I actually prefer displaying the Stormtroopers with this rifle more often than the E11. Just seems more practical. Get a lot of nice poses with this guy. It's just a shame that the E11 doesn't really fit too well in the holster, and that was a common thing at this time. But you just do the best you can. And he doesn't really hold the weapon well with two hands. You just kind of have to pretend he's holding it, because the grip on his left hand is never that good, and it's very hard to get that more open. Could have a little bit more of a neck. Most of the Stormtroopers in this era didn't really have much of a neck. And just show these helmets side by side one more time. Come to think of it, I wonder if all three of these helmets are the exact same, but the size of the lenses seems a little bit different. It seems closer between these two and a little bit bigger for that one. But the original VC-141 definitely had this helmet. But I think that's pretty much all I can tell you about this Stormtrooper here. Would I recommend them for your collection? I would. If you want a variety of Stormtroopers of different types in your collection, this is definitely a great contender. Of course, now we have like this one, for example, which is probably going to be most people's go-to Stormtrooper from here on out. And you can see the difference between the two here. But it's still really good. You can get them in a lot of nice poses, has a lot of nice accessories, and No, I think it's a good Stormtrooper. I really can't say anything bad about him. Just some small tweaks here and there, and he's pretty much perfect. As far as price is concerned, I do think he has gone down significantly in price since the release of the more modern Stormtroopers. Of course, the demand for him is probably a lot less now, unless you get him brand new on the card, that is. But if you get one loose, it might be a little bit more reasonable at this point. It's been a while since I've checked, but I know from the last few times I have checked, that seems to be the general assumption I can make from it. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for playing more in the future. There's always more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support. And check out the links in the description if you haven't done so already. And as always, thanks for watching.